안녕하세요. Well, in today's video, I'm gonna be answering the most requested question out of, I think, everywhere that I've been seeing you guys asking me stuff. Be it on my live streams on TikTok, which by the way, follow over here. Girlfriends questions, like on comments, be it here on the comments, my Instagram, everybody asked me that a lot. You already saw by the title of the video, but topic of the video today is how did I end up here in South Korea? Be ready, because the story is gonna be very long. Let's start from the beginning. Before coming to Korea, or before even finding out about Korea, I used to be very much addicted to Japanese culture. And by Japanese culture, I mean its food, about its history, about the animes. I'm very much of an otaku. If you guys know me, you know me. I even do cosplay. I studied Japanese on my own when I was around 14 years old. So a lot of these stuff were brought because at first I knew about Japan. There was one story, an anime, that I really liked called 𝗧𝗴𝘀. This one over here. I found out they had a lot of movies made about this story. It's the same freaking story. 2 of them were Japanese, if I'm not mistaken. 2 of them were Chinese. There was a Thailand one, and there was also a Korean one. At the time, because it was an old anime, they did not make new materials, of course. So people would just starting to do remakes of it. I also watched all the movies, and the movie that I liked the most, like the not movie, but the drama that I liked the most, was the Korean version. The acting was really good, and I felt like the characters kind of matched pretty well with the story. I just liked it a lot. I liked how Koreans produced the drama. Even though the story kind of like went away in some parts, like it did not quite follow as much of the anime as I was expecting. Some parts were really like following the manga. I started researching a little bit more to see if I could find other dramas, like Korean dramas, that were just as good as that one, like that they had the same delivery and that the characters had the same feelings, you know, kind of something similar. That's when I found out one drama called Heartstrings. Over here. I did not know much about them, but this drama came out in 2013, I think. I watched it in 2014. And what happened in the drama was she used to play the traditional instruments, and in her university, and the guy used to play the like rock music with his friends. So like they had total different type of music groups, like traditional music and modern music, and they were like fighting over it. And I remember watching the drama and seeing the traditional instrument, the Korean one, the gayaku, made me fall in love with it. So I am a person who really loves instruments. I play a few instruments myself. That got me pretty deep into it. So that was when I first got very attached to South Korea, but I did not go much further from that. Like I was addicted. I was like, I want to know more. I listened to songs like with the Gayagum for a long time, but then it kind of cooled down and I kept just watching animes, and I was still in Japan on that side. I was still trying to find ways to go to Japan. By the way, by the end of 2013, BTS debuted. I used to listen to a few of their songs. I really liked it, but I was not a huge fan. I became more of their fan like around 2015. That's when I was like actively listening to them more, but I was kind of embarrassed to talk about it. To be honest, I was okay with talking about my otaku side, but not really about liking K-pop, because it was so underrated and it was really not a good thing that I did not talk much about it. 2015, SM went to Brazil to do global auditions, and I went to the auditions and I got to the semifinals. Unfortunately, out of being super nervous because I was like super scared and not prepared at all, they did not tell us what to prepare, to be honest. I didn't get to the finals, and that's okay, but it was a good experience. So like at that time I was already like going back and forth. I remembered I also watched Japanese anime that brought me back to the Korean instruments, which was Kono Totomare. Koto is a very similar instrument to the gayagun, the traditional instrument that I said, that I mentioned. Going back to that kind of made me want to learn more about Korea and go back to their information, like to what was going on there. My relationship with Korea was a big back and forth between Japan and Korea, like culture and their media. At the time, I remember nothing was even close to being popular. Nobody knew about those stuff. It was super underrated and people didn't like it, and they would make fun of you if you knew about it. In 2017, BTS went to Brazil for the Wings tour. That's when they started booming, like that everybody started to know about them. But to imagine how unknown they were, I remember in the show that I went, the information, like the site, the location for their show, if I'm not mistaken, could hold up to like 5,000 people at most. I got the VIP. It was super easy to get the VIP ticket. It was not that hard to get tickets at all. Like I have friends who bought like a few days after. It was not like nowadays. After that, everybody got to know about BTS. Everybody knew, and it got a fever. It became a fever. That's when I started getting like a little bit like, don't mix me with these weird people, because there's people who like the songs and there's weird people who are just like, oh, oppa 사랑해, and stuff like that, and I'm like, I don't want to be related to those people. That's when I got distance again. Later on, I met a friend of mine who was interested in K-pop and Korea, and which is Milena, for guys who know, especially, talking about learning Korean. I did pay for Korean Online, which is a course to learn Korean, but I did not go for it. I studied like the level of the alphabet. I really didn't get to learn much more from that because I did not dedicate myself enough. At the time, I was doing 2 universities and working, so I really had no patience whatsoever to study properly. But because of my friend who wanted to go to Korea, I also started thinking of going to Korea. You know what? If in 2015 I auditioned and I actually got to the semifinals, if I try soon enough, I could try it again in Korea, and then I would have more chances of becoming an idol or something, like, and then living in Korea. My dream was always to be in Asia anyway, so I thought that was the opportunity that I would get. Time was passing, I was getting late, and my age was not anymore the age that they would get you as a trainee. I also don't think that's what I want for myself anymore. So, well, kind of like the dream kind of just faded, and then it changed into something like, because I really like studying history, and I was like, I think I kind of want to go back and like to the time that I used to study more about Asia. That's when I found out about the history between Japan and Korea and the war that happened, like the colonization during the Imperial Japanese times, and I was like fascinated about it. Like, there's just so much that we can learn in our own country. So my thought was, I'm gonna try to catch an opportunity to move to Korea. When I go to Korea, I'm gonna try to learn the Korean language, and then from then on, I'm gonna be able to read their own books and understand better their culture. I thought it was the fairest version of what I could do. My main reasons to go to Korea at the time was because I wanted to learn more about their history and connect to the gayagum, the instrument that I mentioned a little while ago. I want to be able to see a presentation of it. It gives me the goosebumps. I want to see it in person. But then again, 2019, COVID hit, and we were stuck inside our houses. I was working from home. My life was very comfortable. That's when I applied for a scholarship in the countryside of Korea to learn Korean language. It was not a university, it was just for a language course, and I was not expecting to get it, but then I got it. I passed, and I was going to Korea, and suddenly I was like, Mom, I have like a month and a half to get all the documentations and everything that I need to go to the other side of the world. And she was like, what do you mean? That's how it happened. I ended up in Korea. My intention was to stay only for 4 months because that was the time of the course. But the problem is, the moment that I landed in Korea, Brazil closed up the doors and nobody could go in or out anymore. So those who were in, they would stay in. Those who were out had to stay out. So I couldn't go back to my country anymore. I gladly got to extend my visa for about 1.5 years. That's when I was studying here most of the time. I did not dedicate myself here either, and the school was not the best. There's a lot of it that I can talk in another video. And because I was in the countryside of Korea, I was kind of forced to learn because there was nobody who could speak English. People couldn't speak English there. They only spoke Korean. So I had to learn, and I learned. And I put myself in situations where I would need to speak the Korean language, so that helped me a lot to improve my Korean skills. But it really improved when I moved to Seoul. So I moved to Seoul for about 1.5 years. I was basically living going back and forth to Vietnam, so that I could leave like 3 months here in Korea, then I would go leave and then come back and leave for more 3 months. But I didn't have a job here, so there was no way for me to get money, so I used to pay for my stuff through my online classes that I was teaching English at the time. I started teaching basic Korean as well. Nowadays I don't teach anymore, don't ask me. I met a lot of great people, and one of them, they were a model here in Korea. They talked about me to their agency, and their agency contacted me, and they were like, hey, do you want to get a visa? Like, do you want to work here as a model? I think you can do it. And I was like, yes, I do. Actually, yes. I don't think I can be a model. I'm not sure. I'm not. Are you sure that I can do that? And they're like, no, you actually have like the type. I think you can do it. And that's how I changed my visa, and I started working as a model and actor here in South Korea. And it's been 2 years so far. So my story in Korea started in February 14th of 2021. And then there's another question that people ask me. Aren't your parents worried? Like, how did your parents feel? Didn't they feel lonely? Like, how did they just let you go? Well, my mom always knew that I was going to come to like somewhere, like that I was going to leave our house. I was not going to leave in Brazil. I didn't want to. I've never wanted to since I was really young. As time passed, my parents, they got even more used to it. They knew I was going to leave. It was just a matter of time. My mom thought I was coming back, but she did not expect anytime soon. She knew that I was gonna stay for a while. My mom always raised me by saying, like, I'm raising you to the world, not to me. So whatever you want to do, you're gonna do with your life. You can try everything and leave your dreams, leave what I could not leave. Yeah, that's how it is. Nowadays, I've been living in South Korea as a model, as an actor. If you guys want to, I'm gonna make a separate video just explaining about how is my life here in South Korea working as a model. What do I do? How do I get jobs? Like, how is casting here? How everything works, what are the movies and dramas and things I played on, and yes, so this is the long story. I'm sorry for talking so much. I know that's a long talk, but a lot of people asked me about it, so I was trying to just explain to you guys in as many details as I could. Whew, I'm tired. If you liked the video, don't forget to leave your like down below, subscribe to the channel, and activate the notifications so you get more videos whenever they come out, and comment down below what is the next video that you want. What would you like me to talk about? And I'll see you next time, everybody. Um abraço, beijo, queijo.